Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Asian Literary Society's Bhaasha 2021 Bangla program organized in association with the Journal of Asian Art, Literature, Culture and Literature. It is my honor to invite multilingual guests and authors who excel in Bengali literature for the International Bangla Poetry Meet today. Who is not aware of the founders of modern Bengali poetry, Sri Rabindranath Tagore, Sri Ishwar Chandra Gupta, and many such more? Today we have with us our guests joining from across the globe, and we will be very, very privileged to listen to their own poetry. A bit of a understanding, though, for those who don't understand Bengali, so they'll be just translating it in English. So a very, very warm welcome to all the guests today. Welcome, Mr. Shams.
Hey, how you doing?
Very well, sir. Thank you. And it's an honor to have you today on the session.
Oh, great. And firstly, I'd like to thank Manoj again. Thank you for his attention. He calls me quite often, and it's a pleasure and honor to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, very much. Second, we have Lopa. Lopa, a very, very warm welcome to you.
Namaste to everybody. And thank you, Manoj and Nisha, for inviting me to this wonderful opportunity and platform of ALS. And it would be my privilege to join and read something meaningful today, I hope, and have some meaningful
Absolutely.
interactions as well. Thanks.
Absolutely. We look forward, Lopa. And third and last but not the least, we have Mahanaj joining us. Mahanaj, a very, very warm welcome to you. You're muted, Mahanaj. No, you're on mute. Yes.
Hello everyone, greetings from the core of my heart. At first take my salam and love. Thanks dear all for giving me a chance to poetry reciting. Thank you.
Thank you so much and we look forward. Now, before we proceed, we'd like to have a brief introduction about our guest today. Lopa Banerjee is an author, poet, translator, editor with 7 books in poetry, fiction, and translation, and 4 anthologies in fiction and poetry. She lives in Texas with her family, but is originally from Kolkata. She has been a recipient of the Journey Awards first place category winner for her memoir, Thwarted Escape An Immigrant's Wayward Journey, and also a recipient of the Women Achiever Award IWSFF 2018, the International Ruel Prize for Poetry 2017, and International Ruel Prize for her English translation of Nobel laureate Tagore's selected work of fiction 2016. Her non-fiction essays, fiction, and other writings have been published in various journals, e-zines, and anthologies in India, UK, and USA. She's also a consulting editor for Blue Pencil Publishers India. Recently, she has been a featured poet at Rice University, Houston, and her poems have been featured at Stanford University's Life in Quarantine project recently. She has co-produced the poetry film Kolkata Cocktail, a very interesting title, I must say, directed by Shuayu Bhattacharjee, where she has also been featured as one of the lead actors. It's an amazing, amazing bio, Lopa.
Yeah.
And so we'll start with you. What would you like to read for us? So as I introduce the guests, we can have their poetries and prose also.
Okay. So I would like to first ask that because I was not sure of the language, the main target language which is supposed to be used for today's platform, because I believe both the speakers, excluding myself, write in Bangla. So I have chosen this book. It's not poetry per se, it's a novel. It's an award-winning novel. As
That's
you can
perfect.
see, Bakul Katha by Ashapurna Devi. And this is my humble translation of it. This book, Bakul Katha,
Amazing.
Tale of the Emancipated Woman. And this translation work I started in 2018. And due to the pandemic, it was kind of postponed. The publication was a bit deferred. and I got it published in 2021. And there's the blurb of Ashapurna Devi's granddaughter, Shatadipa Gupta, who is a scientist, a former scientist at the NHS at UK. She resides in UK, but she is originally from Ashapurna Devi's home in Kolkata, as we all know. So this novel, I can say that it is the last part of the famous, the very famed Shubharnalata trilogy, which many of you must be aware of. I'm sure Shams sir already knows about it, and even Mahanaj, you must have heard about it. So Ashapurna Devi had written this trilogy of a novel. The first novel was Pratham Pratishruti, which was translated by Indira Chaudhuri as The Last Promise. And its sequel was Shubharnalata, which was again translated into English by Gopa Majumdar, and both have been published by very renowned publishers. So this last part of the sequel, which is Bokul Katha, I undertook the task because nobody had translated it in English, and also for the reason that it is a journey of 3 generations of women shrouded in patriarchy, in the menace of patriarchy. But in Bakul Katha, it is the depiction of the 1970s Bengal, West Bengal, where things were rapidly changing, and Bengal was part of an ever expanding and ever evolving cultural, political milieu. So where does the protagonist find Bakul, who becomes a famed author, a very famous and popular best-selling author under those circumstances, where does she see herself in the midst of both the patriarchal construct and also the very changing and evolving milieu of her times, cultural and political milieu of her times, where how does she see herself? And both the prequels to it, like the story of her grandmother Satyavati, which is portrayed in the first novel Pratham Pratishruti, and also the sequel to it, Shubharnalata, which is Bakul's mother's journey. Bakul's mother's name was Shubharnalata. Both these novels, to my knowledge, they were awarded with Gyanpith Puraskar and Rabindra Puraskar. But this last novel, which is also the continuum of the journey of Satyavati and Shubharnalata, because Bakul is carrying the legacy of her ancestors, both her grandmother and her mother. So
you'll be reading an excerpt from there.
What's your question again?
No, I said you'll be reading an excerpt from there.
Yes. So
great.
Before reading the excerpt, I was just, in short, I was telling the context of it. So Bakul is actually carrying the legacy of the ancestral generation, but she's carving a unique niche for herself. So the story revolves around her and her Shejdi, like one of her sisters, Parul, who is also a writer. She's a poet. So I'm reading. So am I allowed to read the original Bengali, a little bit of it, and then my translation for the global readers? Okay. So here goes the Bangla, the original Bangla written by Ashapurna. সেজদি বড় অভিমানী, সে অভিমানের মূল্যও আছে অনামিকা দেবীর কাছে, অনেকখানি আছে। তবু সেজদির চিঠির উত্তর দেওয়া হয়ে ওঠে না। নিজে থেকেও একখানা চিঠি সেজদিকে দেওয়া হয়ে ওঠে কই? অথচ সেই না হয়ে ওঠার কাঁটাটা ফুটে থাকে মনের মধ্যে। আর সেই কাঁটা ফোটা মন নিয়েই হয়তো অন্য 7খানা চিঠি লিখে ফেলেন। মানে লিখতে হয়। বাংলাদেশের অসংখ্য পাঠক পাঠিকা অনামিকা দেবীর লেখা ভালোবাসে, তাই অনামিকা দেবীও ভালোবাসে। সেই ভালোবাসার একটা প্রকাশ চিঠি লিখে উত্তর পাবার প্রার্থনায়। সেই প্রার্থনায় থাকে কত বিনয়, কত আবেগ, কত সংশয়, কত আকুলতা। অনামিকা দেবী তাদের বঞ্চিত করবেন, তাদের সেই সংশয় ভঞ্জন করবেন না। সামান্য একখানি চিঠি বই তো নয়, চিঠিও নয়, চিঠির উত্তর, কিঞ্চিত ভদ্রতা, কিঞ্চিত মমতা, কিঞ্চিত আন্তরিকতা, মাত্র এটুকু। সেটুকু দিতে না পারলে নিজেকে ক্ষমা করতে পারবেন কি করে অনামিকা দেবী? তাছাড়া তাদের কাছেই বা অনামিকা দেবীর মূর্তিটা কোনভাবে প্রকাশিত হবে? হয়তো ওই কয়েক ছত্রলেখার অভাবে তাদের ক্যামেরায় অনামিকা দেবীর চেহারাটা হয়ে দাঁড়াবে উন্নাসিক, অহংকারী, অভদ্র। অনামিকা দেবী তা চান না। অনামিকা দেবী নিজের বাইরের চেহারাটা নিজের ভিতরের মতোই রাখতে চান। সামান্য অসতর্কতায়, ঈষৎ অবহেলায় তাতে ধুলো পড়তে দিতে চান না। এছাড়া প্রয়োজনীয় চিঠিপত্রের সংখ্যাও তো কম নয়। গতানুগতিক সাধারণ জীবনের বাইরে অন্য কোনো জীবনের মধ্যে এসে পড়লেই তার একটা আলাদা দায়িত্ব আছে। সেসব দায়িত্ব সম্ভব মতো পালন করতেই হয়, অন্তত তার চেষ্টাটাও করতে হয়, ব্যবহারটা যেন ত্রুটিহীন হয়। অতএব কিছুই হয় না শুধু একান্ত প্রিয়জনের জন্য, সেখানে ত্রুটির পাহাড়, সেখানে দিনের পর দিন, মাসের পর মাস ভারী হয়ে ওঠে অপরাধের বোঝা, তবু হয়ে ওঠে না। কিন্তু প্রিয়জনের সংখ্যা অনামিকা দেবীর কত? From here I'm skipping a bit because time is short. So here now again Shejdi's letter is revealed. What Shejdi writes to Anamika or Bakul. শেজদির চিঠিটা অনেকক্ষণ আর পড়তে ইচ্ছে হলো না। যেন একটা কোমল সুরের রেশের উপর কে তবলা পিটিয়ে গেল। তারপর খুলে পড়লেন। শেজদি লিখেছে, অনেক তো লিখেছ, কাগজ খুললেই অনামিকা দেবী, কিন্তু সেটার কি হলো? সেই বকুলের খাতাটার? খাতাখানা পোকায় কেটে শেষ করেছে নাকি হারিয়ে গেছে? কিন্তু কিন্তু বলেই ছেড়ে দিয়েছে শেজদি। আর কোনো কথা লেখেনি, শুধু তলায় নাম শেজদি। অনামিকা চিঠিটা শেষ করে তার সেই অশেষ বাণীটি চিন্তা করতে লাগলেন। বকুলের খাতার কি হলো? অনামিকা দেবী কি সেটা হারিয়ে ফেলেছেন, না সত্যিই অবহেলায়, ঔদাসীন্যে, পোকায় কাটিয়ে শেষ করেছেন? কোথায় সেই খাতা? অনামিকা কি খুঁজতে বসবেন? So I'm ending with a poem which Anamika Akka Bakul remembers, which was originally written by her sister Parul. It's a Bengali poem, and I will read out the translation of it, a little short
Surely.
part of it. এখানে বাতাস নেই লিখেছিল কবে যেন, একটু একটু মনে পড়ছে। এখানে বাতাস নেই, দিন রাত্রি স্তব্ধ হয়ে থাকে, ওখানে উন্মত্ত ঝড় তোমারে আচ্ছন্ন করে রাখে। তোমার কাজের ডানা অবিশ্রাম পাখা ঝাপটায়, আমার বিশ্রাম সুখ সময়ের সমুদ্রে হারায়। এখানে বাতাস নেই, দেয়ালের ক্যালেন্ডার চুপ, তোমার তারিখ পত্র ঝড়ে উড়ে পড়ে ঝুপ ঝুপ। ঘন্টা মিনিটেরা যেন, না আর মনে পড়ছে না, আরো অনেকগুলো লাইন ছিল। So this is the original Bangla written by Asha Purna, where in this chapter she kind of fuses poetry and prose to give an inkling about the personalities of both the sisters. How was the personality of the sisters like, and how they interacted with each other?
It's an art in itself, putting the poetry and the prose together, weaving them
It's
together.
an art in itself, yes.
Yes.
And, though Asha Purna was not famous as a poet, she was more famous as a prose writer. Here she kind of experimented with the form a little bit. So a little bit translation of this chapter for the global readers who don't understand Bengali. This is from my book, Bakul Katha, Tale of the Emancipated Woman, which is available in Amazon and published by Avenel Press in 2021. Anamika cared for the precious emotions of her dear Shejdi. However, she couldn't manage to reply to her letters. She couldn't even initiate the act of writing a letter to her sister, and this inability stung her tender heart like a thorn. She continued writing trivial letters to other people with that pain-stricken heart. There seemed to be no other way out. Numerous readers in Bengal were ardent admirers of her writing, and among all the manifestations of such admiration, the urge to write letters to her in hope of her reply was the strongest. It was their heartfelt plea, saturated with unadulterated emotions. They felt restless to hear back from her. How could Anamika Devi deprive them? How could she not pacify their apprehensions when all it took was to write a letter to her fans? And that too, a tiny reply to their letters with a dash of politeness, affection, cordiality? Could she forgive herself if she was unable to offer them this minimal token of thankfulness? How would they perceive her if she couldn't reach out to them? The last thing she wanted was to be labeled as a prudish, insolent author. She was cautious enough to retain her image in the eyes of the outside world and feared any unwarranted moment of negligence that could ruin that image of hers. The number of letters that reached her every day was not meager by any means. Her life was outside the periphery of ordinariness, hence her responsibilities towards the masses remained utmost important to her. Hence, Shejdi had to bear with her flaws, her inability to reach out. Day after day, her guilt of not reaching out to her sister turned to an incredible burden in her heart. Was it such an impossible feat to add one more letter to the pile of letters she already sent to her fans and admirers? So let us see now what Shejdi writes to Bakul in the letter. Anamika kept away her Shejdi's letter. The urge to read it subsided. It felt as if someone had played rough strokes of tabla over the soft, sensitive resonance of a melodious tune. But after a while, she opened the letter and read it. I read about you and your stories every day in the newspapers. They refer to you as Anamika Devi. But what about that notebook of Bakul? Has it been lost forever? Have the worms ruined it? But Shejdi had sent her an open-ended letter, culminating with but, signed off with her name, signature, and the indispensable Shejdi. Was all of this intentional? If Shejdi had expressed fully what she had intended to convey, there wouldn't be a thorn to prick her heart. Anamika contemplated about that precious notebook of Parul. Was it ruined forever, thanks to the worms, or to her own complacency? Where would she search for it now? Now I am ending with the poem that Bakul remembers of her dear Shejdi. Because as I said, Shejdi was a poet, but she never published. So one of her unpublished poems. Anamika tried to remember the time when Shejdi had crafted a poem titled There's No Wind Here. She could recollect a few lines from it. There's no wind here, the days and nights stand still. There at your end, the turbulent storm overpowers your senses. The wings of your daily toil are shaken incessantly, while the joy of my leisure loses itself in the ocean of time. There's no wind here. The wall calendar stands still. Your letters drop at unknown domains, driven by the wind drift. Anamika had been completely stunned. How had Shejdi figured the storm brewing inside her so insightfully? Was it because she was at the opposite end? Thank you for listening. So this was a
No,
reading of my
it is
excerpt from.
beautiful. It is beautiful, and it is very difficult to translate the emotions. Words can be
Yeah.
translated, but translating emotions is
Yes.
a task in itself.
Yeah, and it is a very
And
complex novel. There are not only there are so many characters, but
mhm,
the emotional journeys of each of the characters and how they are tied very intricately with the other
yes,
characters. And what uh, what is more unique is the political construct of the times, because it was the time of the Naxalite movement, the Nakshal
right.
movement, which we used to call in Kolkata. It was in its brewing stage. So Kolkata was rapidly changing at that time. Before that, the women were strictly constricted to the inner quarters, the Andar Mahal, which we call
Mm.
in regional Bengali. But then, right then, women were stepping outside of their comfort zones and exploring the outside world. So Anamika Devi, Aka Bakul, was at the threshold of that time where she was exploring her inner self and also the characters that she was witnessing around her. So basically, that is about the book.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
very
Lopa.
much
It
for
has
the
been a
opportunity.
pleasure listening to you. And
Thank
now
you.
I'd like to introduce Mr. Shams. I don't think he needs any introduction there in Bangladesh, but for our audience, we'd like to give a brief introduction. Mr. Shams Monower, he is educated in Bangladesh and the United States. He's an associate consultant at Monower Associates, an HR and management consultancy. Also founder Inkmark Quest for Creative Excellence, poet, lyricist, vocalist, also involved with fashion, handicrafts, art, rickshaw art, etc. Author of 16 books of Bangla and English poetry published in Bangladesh and India, along with musical albums, music videos, also active in electronic, print, social media. He is a regular in newspapers and magazines, also promotes and assists people from different creative genres, involved in social work and research related to the father of the nation, single man born during the Liberation War. Sir, I don't know what to say and where to start. How do you manage to play so many roles? And today we are very, very eager to listen to you, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, I started my journey through poetry in 2003. I've been writing since 1992, but as time went on and things moved on, uh, it just happened. Like I moved to other genres of creativity and ended up doing a lot of things. And I guess, I mean, if you have it in you, the creative urge, it leads you to many places. But
True.
tonight, we're not here to talk about everything else. So let's just concentrate on the poems that I'm going
Sure,
to
sir.
recite for you. And firstly, I'd like to tell you that, with poetry, as time goes on, things change and it's the feeling. So, first of all, I'd like to read you out one of my early poems published in 2006 in the book fair in Bangladesh. And I'll get to the translation later. I mean, I don't really believe in too much translation, but let me just read you out the poem first, and then we can get to the meaning and theme of it.
Yes, I think the meaning would do better in that, literal translation, sometimes it gets lost. So I think you could explain the meaning that our audience will definitely enjoy, sir.
Sure. But let me recite it first.
Yes,
And
sure.
the name of this poem is Mona Lisa. Uh, Here it goes. আমি তোমায় ভালোবাসি না মোনালিসা, যুগের সাক্ষী, শিল্পের ছোঁয়া, রয় অপূর্ণ আমার ভুবন, বড্ড তৃষ্ণার্ত, কি মোহময় এই অপূর্ণতা। যে হাসি হেসেছিলে প্রথম যৌবনে, স্নেহের সীমানায় অক্লান্ত এক পরশ, মায়া জাগায় খুব অন্তরে, ভেবে মরি আর নয় বৃথা সময়। জানি এসব শব্দের মালা তোমার চোখে দেয় না ধরা, বিরামহীন ক্লান্তি অবসাদ জাগায় কবিতার স্তরে স্তরে, হারিয়ে যাই বারে বারে, মোনালিসা মনে হয় তুমি সেই সর্বনাশী। লিওনার্দো তুমি কেন ক্ষমা করলে না, অন্ধের নেই কোনো মোনালিসা, তবুও ঋণী, মনের জানালা বন্ধ করে দিতে চাই তোমায় মোনালিসা, পৌরুষের শেষ রক্তবিন্দু, তিলে তিলে গড়ে উঠবে মায়ার প্রহার, সঙ্গমের বৈধতা মানবে না হিসাব মালা, থাকবে বুভুক্ষ নেশা, এক সাগর কামনা পেরিয়ে পারবো কি মোনালিসা তোমায় নিয়ে সুর বাঁধতে। জানো একবার ভিনদেশি হাসি মনে করিয়ে দিয়েছিল তোমার কথা, যখন আসলো শেষ প্রহর, এলো অপূর্ণতা, লক্ষ কোটি মুদ্রা সবুজ টিয়ের মতো উড়ে গেল অন্য আকাশে, সাথে অনেকগুলি বছরের অতীত ও বর্তমান। মোনালিসা, তুমি কোথায়? স্তব্ধ আমার বিশ্বাস, শিল্পের সম অধিকার। লিওনার্দো, আমিও কাঙাল। যদি পারতাম বাঁধতে তোমায়, সত্যি সাজাতাম মন ভরে। খোপায় বাঁধতাম মান সম্মান। মোনালিসারা কল্পনার ধ্রুবতারা। Yes, that was my first poem. And do you want me to explain it right now?
Yes, sir. That will be wonderful.
Well, I wrote this poem possibly around 2004 or 2005 because it got published in 2006. And people were talking about it. Basically, like with Mona Lisa, like Mona Lisa, everybody knows about it. And of course, Leonardo da Vinci painted it. But, like I went to the roots of Leonardo da Vinci's creation. Like, like it took him 19 years to paint this. And since that time, it has been a myth to the lovers, the critics, to the admirers. I mean, you can cover everything else, but here, what I'm trying to say is that it's quite hard for me to explain. Like I'm trying to depict somebody, some woman or girl, whatever you can call it, and it's a young man's fantasy, and it goes up like like there are plenty of women or ladies who you have in your heart and you can't love. So this is like bonding with unity with Leonardo. And I mentioned here too that Leonardo, why didn't you pardon me? Because uh, uh, there's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of uh, feelings that come from not getting that person. And uh, you're writing poetry there about that person, and like you're spending time, and you're getting lost, and sometimes you just feel that that person uh, who you compare with Mona Lisa, that beautiful person, is distracting you, and uh, still you're like so much grateful to Leonardo and that beautiful woman in your heart, that you want to close your mind and just concentrate on that. And here you say, দিতে চাই তোমায় মোনালিসা পৌরুষের শেষ রক্তবিন্দু, meaning that I want to give that person that feeling and the manhood, with whatever way you can transfer it. I mean, you're trying to go deep into the edge to give that, and and then you're starting to believe that from that, you're hoping that that person, such as Mona Lisa, will start loving you, and uh, but still you will have a want which surpasses everything. And like you hear you say Chagor Kamuna with all the best of intentions, and crossing that big ocean of love, um, you still can't get her. And here you're I'm trying to compare her to this other lady or female from another culture who I came to love, and but still she can like get Mona Lisa off my mind. And it's like Lok Kukoti Mudra, like with that I mean the expense, the value. I mean, it just went off in the air for so many kinds of years, and it's the past and the present, and you're still searching for Mona Lisa. And at the end, you say, the, all my trials, all my beliefs are paused. and Shilpe Samodika. So you're trying to compare this poem to Leonardo's creation, and I'm trying to tell Leonardo that look, me too. I too am a true lover, and I mean, I want to stress here that I too can do great things like you, and if I could draw like him, I would really draw something like Mona Lisa and Kopai Battam Manchon Man. You know what Kopa is? Is the like the women, they have the hair tangled up here. So there I would have the man and Chon Man. Man meaning the prestige or the honor of doing all this for this great woman. But at the end, you say the Mona Lisa ra Kalpana Dhruvatara, meaning they're just a shooting star. I mean, they're just a shooting star. And with all these words and all these expressions, the ending comes like it's just a shooting star, which you don't even see all the time. And if you're lucky enough, you see a shooting star and you wish something, but it still like vanishes into oblivion. Have I been able to explain? I mean, that's about it. Hello? Hello?
I think I was on mute. No, I said it was a wonderful poetry, and we, I think, got the gist of whatever you were trying to tell us. Thank you so much. And would you like to share another poetry with us?
Sure. This is a very short poem of mine, and
Sure.
it's my book, Shahre Jol Rang, which came out in, I think, 2017. It's a very short poem. And tonight, like, I mean, my poems are all rendered around, I mean, the opposite sex, I mean, the women. And here, this is called Comma. And it goes like this. স্বপ্নের শেষ বৃত্তের ঠিক মাঝখানে তোমাকে হতে হবে বা খাড়া, প্রতিবাদের ভাষা আয়ত্তের বাইরে, বন্দি বাসনা অসহায় মনে, সময়ের কোমলতার প্রিয় ছোঁয়ায় গলা টিপে মেরে ফেলতে হবে তোমাকে, হাসিতে প্রতিটি মূল্য বুঝিয়ে ফের আবারও একবার করতে হবে ক্ষমা.
Wonderful. So we'd like to understand what you were trying to say in this for the audience to understand, sir. If you'd
this
like to
is about
translate it.
this is about a very close person to you. I mean, and I would this is like a very, it can be a wife, it can be a girlfriend, it can be, it's the opposite sex. And what I'm trying to say is that in your dreams, the brito means a circle, and you're standing in the middle. And there, I'm addressing the my mate or my close one, that you will have to be speechless, and whatever you say in protest or you don't like, uh, in deep sorrow and like want, uh, in times touch. I mean, over some time, like I will have to kill you. I'll have to strangle you and just kill you and not let you say anything, or like I don't want to do that all this. And it's more of a lovers quarrel, okay? And then you go. The ending goes hachite potiti mudlo bujhe, by your smile, by my smile, and I would again have to forgive you. That's about it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Myriad emotions. A variety of emotions you covered in both your poetry. Thank you, sir, very much.
Well, you're welcome.
Now, I'd like to introduce our third guest today, Miss Mahanaj Parvin. She's a multi talented nature lover, humanist, romantic poet, society reality investigative writer, sociologist. Mahanaj is engaged in teaching profession and she is equally proficient in composing poetry in Bengali and English. Her poetries have been published in the newspapers and magazines over the world. Her poetries have been translated into 21 languages of the world and have been included in the collection of poems. The diligent poet Mahanaj has been selected as the best reader of Vishwa Sahitya Kendra twice during her student days and has won many awards. She has received multifaceted reception of Digital Sahitya Adda of Bangladesh in the International Literary Conference. Mahanaji has published 2 books of poetry. I think if I get the pronunciation wrong, please correct me. Valo Bhashar Kureghor and Ek Beloni Prem. The short story book Opolok Chokhe Ekhone Takiye and the rhyme book Shishur Chokhe Banga Bandhu O Bangladesh. Moreover, her poems have been included in many collections of poetry and she has edited a joint book of poetry. She is a social worker and adult leader of Bangladesh Scouts, ambassador for Sri Lankan of the Literary Forum, Oxygen Pen, and the administrator of the Peace and Love Inca Society Philippines. She has won the Gujarat Sahitya Academy Award in 2021. A very, very warm welcome once again, Manaji.
Thank you, my dear ma'am Nisha Tandon. And thanks, Sir Manoj Krishnan, for inviting me and for giving me a chance to poetry reciting. Heartfelt gratitude to Asian Literary Society Group founder admin Manoj Krishnan sir. He is brilliant writer and organizer. The whole world knows him. Everyone present here is very favorite and everyone is very brilliant and talented. Shams Monower, famous and familiar writer in Bangladesh. Lopa Banerjee, famous and familiar writer in USA. And Nisha Tandon is very good-minded person. I so appreciate you all.
Thank you very much, Manaji. So what are you going to recite for us today?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to read out Bengali poem.
Sure.
It's written by me. This poem received many awards. This poem published in prestigious magazine Bharat Bhishon, translated into several languages. চলো জেগে উঠি পুনর্বার চলো আজ জ্যোৎস্নার আলো দেখি কোনো এক নদীর তীরে যেখানে অবিবাহিত প্রজাপতিরা ওড়ে চলো আজ পূর্ণিমার চাঁদ দেখি ভোরের মিঠে হাওয়ায় জলের ফোয়ারায় ভাসি চলো বসন্তে হারিয়ে যাই শিমুল উদ্যানে হাঁটি চলো আবেগের শহরে হারিয়ে যাই একটি ভুলে যাওয়া প্লটের জন্য অপেক্ষা করি চলো একে অপরকে খুব ভালোবাসি ভেলভেট রঙের গল্প করি মুহূর্তগুলো নষ্ট না করে চলো ভালোবাসা জড়ো করি লক্ষ লক্ষ চোখ স্মৃতিতেই বাঁচে প্রতিটি হৃদয় একই ভালোবাসা বহন করে চলো নিবিড় পরিচর্যা কক্ষে যাই গভীর ঘুমে ক্লান্তি দূর করি চলো জেগে উঠি পুনর্বার থ্যাঙ্কস টু অল I would like to short description because time is short.
Yes, sure.
Birth and death, yes. Birth and death are the eternal truth of nature, just like the rising and setting of the sun. In fact, it is a love poem. The words of the poem are a name of emotion, easy, simple presentation of love, which is not desire of a special people, the heart of all people. The poem is not for mere enjoyment, but perception, the perfect depiction of the anxieties of the heart. The world is useless without love. Love lasts in giving and taking. Thank you, everyone. Thanks.
Beautiful. A very simplistic poetry and it connects with the heart instantly. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
And do you have another poem for us?
Another poem. Okay, ma'am. I would like to recite another poem. It's written by me. হে পিতা তোমার ছবি হে পিতা তোমার ছবি ইতিহাসের পাতায় পাতায় 52 থেকে 71 খাতায় তোমার ছবি কোটি বাঙালির চিন্তা চেতনা আত্মা ও সত্তায় তোমার ছবি বুকে লালন করা গোটা জাতির প্রত্যয় তোমার ছবি মুক্তির রূপরেখায় গৌরবের গায় হাজার জয় আর শান্তির বার্তায়। তোমার ছবি সুনীল আকাশে, সমুদ্রের নীলে, শিশির ভেজা দুর্বা ঘাসে আর হেমন্তের পাকা ধানের গালে। তোমার ছবি এই বাংলার গল্প, কবিতা ও গানে, স্বাধীনতার অনির্বাণে। তোমার ছবি উত্তাল মার্চের মাঠে, সমগ্র বঙ্গীয় সমতটে, তেজস্বী বয়ানে আর দক্ষিণা সমীরণে। হে পিতা, তোমার ছবি ৫৬,০০০ বর্গমাইলে সমহিমায় জ্বলে, কাশফুলে আর হাজার নদীর পললে। তোমার রক্ত লেগে আছে টেকনাফ থেকে তেঁতুলিয়ায়, পদ্মা, মেঘনা, যমুনা ও মৃত্তিকায়। তোমার রক্ত লেগে আছে কৃষ্ণচূড়া, পলাশ আর রক্ত জবার লালে। তোমার রক্ত লেগে আছে এই বাংলার দলিল খতিয়ানে, পতাকার লাল সূর্যের মাঝখানে। Thanks everyone. I would like to short description.
Surely, please.
বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমান, father of the nation in Bangladesh. A group of hyenas killed the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Bangabandhu's struggling life is the subject of an epic today, the hero of the cruelest tragedy of the 20th century. That man is equal to the sky, the best Bengali of 1,000 years. The shape of the flag of independent Bangladesh and red and green composure of 1106 radiant words. This man from Tungipara and 32 number was killed by anti-independence, insidious vampire, bloodthirsty hyenas. The killers did not kill just one person, killed the father of all Bengalis. August 15, 1975. Thanks everyone.
Very beautiful. A good, great dedication. Thank you so much. The audience has been constantly leaving some messages. Many do not understand the language, but I think they, got to know the emotions through your poetry and prose and the story that you shared. Sir, before we leave, do you have anything to say to our audience, please?
Well, all I have to say is that everything that Asian Literary Society is doing, and I follow them, it's a great job, and all credit goes to everybody who's making it work, especially Manoj. And this is my third time that I've come, the invitation of Asian Literary Society, and these kind of efforts really do make a difference, especially where art and culture is involved. And all I have to say is that all my best wishes, and I hope Asian Literary Society goes a long way, and it's really a great initiative, and will help everybody who follows it, and for the times to come. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Those are such kind words, sir. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your presence today. Lopa, would you like to share some words before we leave?
It was my great pleasure and honor and privilege to be part of Asian Literary Society's endeavor, and which commemorates on the Bengali language. Such a beautiful language, but it's relegated only to as a regional language. But I would love to say how enriching and thought-provoking the language and literature produced from Bengal is, and how relevant it is for all times. And this initiative, Bhaasha 2021, which you all have thought about, it is a great initiative and endeavor. And it was lovely to listen to my co-speakers and the enriching poetry in Bengali. It was a great occasion to share my work of translation as well in this prestigious platform. So all I want to end with is by expressing my gratitude to Manoj and you for bestowing me with this honor. And I would look forward to many of your programs in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's our absolutely our pleasure to have you over. Mahanaj, do you want to say anything before we leave?
Yes, ma'am. Our Asian Literary Society group will be the best in the whole world. Asian
Thank
Literary
you.
Society will encourage and inspire each other.
Yes.
Everyone who is in this group as admin, moderator, such as Nisha Tandon ji and Manoj Krishnan and their mentally is very good. And I would like to say, viewers, that my favorite word, when the whole world is ready to lose you, don't lose yourself there. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. With those wonderful words, we'd like to bring this session to an end. And thank you, Lopa. We disturbed you early morning. It was an odd hour for you, but thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much, Lopa.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.